Hello, welcome back. I feel like I really want to get something done today, like productive. I'm just like itching to get things done, and honestly, I've also been absolutely itching to go to the thrift store for some reason. So I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that at all because I feel like if I go, I'm gonna spend money and I don't want to do that. So, I think I have my bag of like mendable things somewhere over there, and there's this one t-shirt-ish dress that is white that has a handful of stains on it, and I recently found like half a bottle of pink RIT dye, so I think I'm gonna dye that dress like pink today because I want to do something and I want to feel like I'm getting new clothes without getting new clothes, you know what I mean? So I'm excited. I probably could do it with one of the like powder dyes that I have, but I don't have the soda ash that I need to like fix the color into the cotton. So we're just gonna use what we have right now. I basically just want to feel like I'm getting things done and being productive and like creating things rather than going and spending money where I don't need to, because I just feel an urge to like change things around. And I've already done my spring cleaning. Obviously, things have gotten a little chaotic just because dishes are always gonna pile up and laundry is always gonna pile up. But like, other than that, I don't know, I'm just feeling very stagnant. So I need to do something that is within my power so that I don't just like spend money because I'm bored. So I'm gonna see what I can do to like make things fun and exciting without spending any money. So let's go on this adventure together. I don't know why I started this video right before I need to go to the grocery store because it has nothing to do with anything here, and I literally just need to buy like some stuff for Flip's food. But I did want to mention it because if I didn't start this video now, I wasn't gonna start it. And also, yes, the AC is on because it's really hot outside. So I'll be back and then we'll get started on dyeing the dress. Okay, let's go. I'm realizing that it actually is important that I came here because I need about a cup of salt to fix the dye into the thing. So if it's iodized, is that bad? Let me look that up. Okay, I'm back. Sweatier than I was before. I got the salt, and it's okay that I used iodized salt, so that's great. Yeah, I forgot that I needed like a cup of salt to help fix the dye into the garment, which is just 100% cotton. Luckily, the like box of salt that I got was only $2, so in terms of like going crazy on a spending spree, I feel like I'm doing a good job still so far, and it's not like I'm not gonna use frickin' salt, so I'm really not mad about it. The pot, I just set it up to start boiling the water. I guess I'm just gonna wait for this water to boil and then we'll walk through the process of dyeing a cotton garment with RIT dye, which I'm sure there's like a billion videos of that out there, but I've done it quite a few times and I've had pretty good success so far. I've actually used this dye before when I was dyeing one of Ray's jumpsuits because him and his band used to all wear jumpsuits when they were doing concerts and stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Okay, so this is the color of the jumpsuit that I dyed before. I think it turned out pretty good. There are a couple spots near like the knees and stuff where it's starting to fade a little bit, but I can always go back and re-dye it. It was just kind of big. Obviously, Ray's a tall guy. He's like 5'10", 5'11". So it was kind of hard to like smush it into the pot that we have because I don't really have like a big plastic container for anything because I'm basically a minimalist, so why would I need a giant plastic container? The only plastic containers we have are in there with the Christmas stuff that like came with the apartment that belongs to like Ray's family, and I don't feel like taking all the Christmas decorations out of that and then putting everything back in, but I may have to do that in the future when I'm like dyeing the sweater that I have in there or something later, bigger, whatever. I'm so sweaty. I need to just like cool down for a second, maybe make a smoothie or something, and then wait for this water to boil. Okay, hopefully the AC is not super duper loud, or at least you've blocked it out at this point, but this is what we do. We follow the instructions on the back because we are good, smart people. You just want to make sure that your garments that you're dyeing are clean. I know these may not look clean, however, I have washed them with bleach 3 times and they still have this like reddish tint to them because for some reason I wore non-hiking socks when I was visiting Zion National Park in Utah, and I don't know if you've been, but there's a specific color that kind of pervades the whole area. So These are stained and I wanted to dye them a different color, so then I didn't obviously get rid of them because they look dirty all the time. And then this has a couple of tiny little stains, and I've also cleaned this at least 2 times. So anyways, let's get going. It's advisable to dampen the pieces that you're going to be dyeing because it helps the dye absorb faster and better. I'm just gonna pour this entire rest of the bottle in here because I think it's about half. I think that's like just the exact right amount for the amount of fabric that I have. And it says to add 1 teaspoon of liquid dish detergent. I do not have any just like straight up liquid, but I do have these little dissolvable pods that I get from Drops that I really like. If you wanted to switch to zero plastic option, these also dissolve. There are no microplastics in this. I have been using them for a very, very, very long time. The only reason I switched away from them is because they didn't have a free and clear option when I was going through my eczema stuff, and now they do. So I love that brand. I'm not sponsored, I just have like a referral code. So if you want to get a discount, I'll put that in the description. But anyways, for cotton, you also want to add about a cup of salt because it helps fix the dye into the cloth. So let me just dampen these really quick, and then we're gonna get them on the bath, and then I'm going to use this metal spoon so I don't ruin one of my wooden spoons. Haha. Okay, let's add the ingredients to the soup, everyone. 1 packet of that. It dissolves in water. 1 cup of this. And the rest of the bottle of this red dye. And just so y'all know, this is a pot that I regularly use to dye clothes. I don't usually eat from this pot. Not saying that you can't use a pot that you use to cook with, but I wouldn't suggest it. I don't know. You probably can, and it's probably totally safe. I would just clean it really, really, really well multiple times before using it to cook something. But this is one that I use specifically just for dyeing clothes, personally. So I'm just gonna stir it around very gently so I can dissolve the salt. Okay, so I have my damp pieces. Honestly, the container probably should be bigger than this, but we're just gonna do the best we can with what we have. Ooh, that's fun and exciting. It's obviously not gonna be that dark when all is said and done, but essentially what you're gonna wanna do is just sit here and stir for a while, because the more you stir things around, the better the color distribution will be. And I made sure to leave a little bit of space in the thing because I have made this mistake before, believe it or not, where I was like, oh, it needs to be a lot of water, so I filled it nearly up to the top, and then when I put my clothing in, I was like, oh no, this is gonna overflow. And then guess what? It did. And it got red dye all over this. Luckily, our oven is black, so like our stovetop, so you couldn't really see it or tell that much. But anyways, yeah, ideally you're gonna want to put it into a container that has enough room for the clothing to move freely. That's what it says on the bottle. And then you're basically just gonna be boiling this shit for 30 to 60 minutes. You need to basically consistently stir for about half an hour, but it can be up to 60 minutes. Allegedly, it's fine after 30 minutes, but I always like to leave it in for a little bit of extra time just in case. I was also that person when I used to dye my hair, I'd be like, what's the longest amount of time that I could possibly leave this? And then I would do that because I'm psycho. But anyways, yeah, we're kind of just waiting. I'm just gonna have to sit over this hot stove and stir things around and sweat for a while. Good thing I have my, wow, the ice literally, I was like, I put ice cubes in this approximately 5 minutes ago and there's no ice cubes left. That's awesome. That's so great. But at least it tastes good. So I got my iced lemon water. Very refreshing on a hot day. I need to put my hair up because this is starting to piss me off. And yeah, we'll see what else we can get up to today, getting some things done. And then I'll tell you what to do after, when this is all said and done, in terms of washing it. So I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, now that the stuff is all done, I am going to rinse it. It needs to rinse it with cool water. I'm just going to let it cool for a minute. I turned the heat off about 10 minutes ago and it's just been sitting now. It still is absolutely steaming, so I might just let it cool down for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to dump out the dye and water into the sink and then rinse it. You have to rinse it until the water runs totally clear, and then you put it in the washing machine on like a warm, gentle, delicate cycle. And I would highly recommend for the first couple of times that you wash it to not put anything else in there. Also, when you're washing it, you want to do a cycle with an old towel as well, because yeah, the dye transfer sometimes can be a thing. So I've accidentally ruined a couple of socks and other things by washing it with things that I've recently dyed. So definitely do those things alone for the first handful of times that you wash them. And yeah, okay, I'm going to let that cool for a minute and then rinse it. Okay, Ray's back. He's just working downstairs in the studio. We've got 2 glasses, and here, what do we have? Some ice. I pre-made some peach iced tea yesterday because I wanted some fun, nice drinks to just have cold. Another fun thing that I really like to do that kind of adds to a drink while also keeping it cold is when you get lemons. For me, I always accidentally let them go bad, but if you just slice them up and put them in a bowl in the freezer, you can have frozen lemon slices and then add it to your drinks. I love that. Peach iced tea. I just used, what was there? Wait, I also need to put my rings back on. I took it off while I was doing the dyeing clothes stuff.
Oh, smart.
Anyways, I don't know, I did like 3 bags of peach, and then I did the peach black tea, peach ginger black tea, Earl Grey, and thing. So hopefully this is sweet enough because I'm not a sweet tea connoisseur, and Ray lived
in the South
for 8 years.
Best sweet tea on planet Earth.
And that's not really a thing in California or the Northeast, which are the only 2 places I've ever lived.
Sinful.
So peach sweet tea, hopefully. And then I just put it in the fridge and let it cool overnight. Cheers! This looks really good. The color, you're gonna spill it. The color looks amazing. You wanna try it? It smells good.
Blind reaction.
Okay, yeah, he knows what sweet tea supposed to taste like.
Dare I say, damn near perfect, darling.
Wow!
Don't put that in.
That is actually really good.
It's great.
It's almost too sweet for me.
No, that's right, to Southern standards.
Okay, well,
you gotta let it, you have to have like at least like a marginal.
This tastes like Snapple. That's how sweet it is.
Yeah, you're supposed to think that you could get cavities from
drinking it.
This is probably as sweet as it is at home.
It's really sweet. I might add a little bit of water to mine. Is that illegal?
It is illegal.
Not in New York, it's not. I definitely highly recommend doing this pre-making some sweet tea or like whatever, because I don't have like, well, I kind of do. Hold on. I have this like ginger peach black tea that's really, really good. So I added 1 tea bag of this, 1 tea bag of Earl Grey, 1 tea bag of breakfast tea, and then 3 tea bags of peach herbal tea. And it turned out really good. And then in that big thing, I think I added like the layer at the bottom full of sugar. I would maybe do less sugar next time personally. It just depends how sweet you want it. And I personally don't love super duper sweet tea. Adding a little bit of water to this made it perfect for me, so. It's done! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, wait. Socks look good. I think everything's gonna dry a bit lighter Okay, so there are a few tiny little places where for some reason the dye absorbed a little bit more there. I have a feeling it's where the little squishy packet was. I probably didn't dissolve it well enough. So there's like a little bit of extra whatever on the front and a little bit on the back. Of course it had to be in like the most visible space ever, like on the top where the neckline is. I was kind of hoping that that would go away in the wash, and I'm sure it will eventually. If not, I could always do some like embroidery or something. But in general, it turned out pretty good. And then I think it's gonna dry a really nice color as well. So I'm happy about this, honestly. I'm letting it dry right here because we don't have a dryer. So I'm just letting it chill on its own little thing right now. I guess we'll see how it looks later. I think this slight bit of extra coloration probably won't bother me that much, especially if you can barely see it when it's wet. I'm sure that when it's dry, it'll be completely, like, you won't notice it at all. So, yeehaw, I'm excited. But anyways, what else am I gonna do? Okay, so I do have this top, and it has a teensy tiny little hole right there, and I kind of wanted to embroider on it, but hold on, I have a whole bunch of these letters now, so I think I might iron on instead. And I have to finish ironing on these shirts. Okay, another little cute thing that we did, me and Bestie Caroline, who, if you watched the video last week, I made the tata for her, the little crochet thing. We made some shirts for a concert, and we used these iron-on letters. The only thing is, we accidentally used the letters and some of the plastic was overlapping a little bit, so if I try to take the plastic off in certain areas, it will rip the whole thing off. So I just have to really easily, quickly go over it one more time so that it doesn't rip off. Anyways, it's like in Hypen Lyrics, which is a K-pop group that we really like, with our friend Chris. We each have a shirt. I already had these t-shirts. All we bought was these letters and red contact paper so we could emulate the style of this shirt that they have. Actually, Chris is exactly that style, except the letters are different because these were the only ones that they had at Michael's when I went last week, because everything in Manhattan is like micro sized. So like if you're trying to look for something, weirdly enough, if you're actually trying to look for something in Manhattan, you'd think that we have everything here, but no, all of our stores are like tiny. So it's actually not as easy to find stuff as you would think. Anyways, if I have the letters, I could do something onto here as well. I wanted to write protect trans kids, or protect trans folks, or protect trans people, or trans rights or something, and then I can finish these ones up. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I think I have to just let this cool for a second. Luckily mine is the one that's fucked up the most, so if it ends up looking kind of jank, then that's okay, because it's just mine and I don't really care that much. As long as everyone else's isn't messed up too bad, like, that's really what matters. Chris's is perfect on the front, it's just the back we decided to do little XO, and like her entire O is like, half of it is just totally covered by the X extra thing, but it's fine, because if for some reason I have to like take that off, then it is what it is. And then Caroline's B, it's just barely going over the tip of the A, so worst case scenario, if that gets cut off, it's like really not the end of the world. Mine is a little bit more messed up. There's like a chunk of an A that would be missing, and like the back sliver of an S, which again, it really doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. So I'm just gonna let this cool down a little bit and then hope for the best. It's like not looking great though, because I'm actually realizing that this A is on top. Okay, is that the issue? Yeah, the letters are on top, so there's no way that I can fix this. Okay, yeah, great, awesome, good. Okay, Caroline's is fine. There's like a tiny chunk missing out of the A, but it's barely noticeable at all. Mine's not that bad. Okay, yeah, both of my S's are fucked. Good, because there's no more S's, so that's awesome. Okay, it's really not that bad. Okay, it's just like a little bit off of the S's and a tiny bit off of the A. It's fine. I mean, there's literally nothing I can do about this. So like, it really just is what it is. I'm not that mad about it. I'm still gonna wear this shirt. I'm still gonna wear it to the concert. I'm still gonna wear it to dance classes. Probably won't wear it out just because of what it says on it. The K-pop people will get it if they're fans of ENHYPEN. Chris just won't have the EXO on the back. So I'm so sorry, Chris. And for some reason it was not adhering to the back of this shirt. It was adhering to the front and it was fine, but like, I don't know what was going on. Anyways, I guess I'm just gonna, because I warmed my letters back up, I'm gonna let these sit for another day and then wash them in the machine, because I'm also gonna have to do that tomorrow with my one that I'm doing right now. A quick note from editing Grace. Unfortunately, I was not paying close enough attention to Caroline's shirt. And the little apostrophe before the don't, like all that extra plastic caught on the T, so the top chunk of the T is missing. So I used up the last T on my Protect Trans People shirt when I could have redone her shirt. But whatever, it's too late now. I can cut out something else and replace that there, or she can fill it in with Sharpie. It's not that big of a deal. Also, I forgot to mention, please also make sure that when you do iron-on stuff, you flip it inside out. It's also just good to, like, if you have a shirt with an iron-on sort of decal, any kind of situation, even if you bought it from a store, turning it inside out is going to preserve the iron-on a lot longer, and also, like, zipping up your sweatshirts and like doing all that kind of stuff. That's just like laundry etiquette that you learn when you do laundry for a living, I guess, and like clasping your Velcro and all that kind of stuff. So just some tips to say, if you do this, make sure you turn your shirts inside out for like iron-on stuff and graphic tees and all that. I don't have another S, so I can't say protect trans rights. Maybe, okay, hear me out here. Because I could do protect trans folks, or I could do protect trans people. Hold on. Maybe I can do this with all the same letters, because I just don't want it to look weird. You know what I mean? I am gonna figure this out, because this is very important to me, especially with our current administration. Okay, hold on. Should I add an exclamation point to the end? I think I want to. Ooh! I love this so much. Happy freaking Pride Month, y'all. Oh, this is so cool. There is another T. Wait, okay, wait. I think I got it. I think I've figured it out. Is this, I'm having some fears, and I'm fearing that it's not straight. Like that it's going like, as long as this P covers up the tiny little hole. That's all that I'm trying to do. In terms of iron-on letters, the best thing to do is obviously follow the instructions that are given to you. Okay, there's no turning back now. Using up the rest of my letters. That's how it goes. Okay, the best thing to do is literally just obviously follow the instructions that are given to you. But essentially, you're just gonna wanna turn your iron on and press it down on the letters for about 30 seconds. These ones also tell you to turn the shirt inside out and then do it again for 30 seconds. But on the first go round, you definitely want to make sure there's like a layer of fabric between what you're ironing and the iron. So I just have a t-shirt, a crappy t-shirt that we don't care about. Is it wonky? Whatever. I literally can't care anymore. I can't care if it's a little bit like sloping, whatever. Guess what? That's none of my business. That is none of my business. It's 100% sloping down. Yeah, that's what I thought. Whatever. In a way, it looks good like that. At least it's uniform. Oh God, whatever. I don't care. It's fine. Also, the humidity is so high today that it's been going in and out of like dumping rain every hour or so. So right now it's just absolutely pouring rain. Perfect day to stay inside and do cute crafts, am I right? Getting new clothing items without actually spending money. That was the thunder that I was just talking about. Technically, obviously I did pay for this stuff, but I just want to come clean, everyone. I went into Michael's and I spent a little bit more than I should have. I bought all the things that I needed to buy for the shirt stuff, which was really barely anything. It's honestly way cheaper that we like did this and made our own like individual and unique shirts than going out and spending money on an entire new outfit. And I don't regret it, okay? I probably didn't have to at all. I probably could have just used what I had already, but it's cute, and now we all have matching shirts. And Caroline's moving soon anyway, so I think it's really sweet that we all have something. Yay, this is so exciting. Okay, I have to wait for this to cool before I take the thing off. I'm excited to have a new t-shirt for summer because I mostly just have tank tops, and I don't always want to wear a tank top, you know what I mean? I'm really happy with the crafts that we've done today, everyone. Okay, so yeah, not everything turned out perfectly. You know, oh well, it is what it is. But guess what? I fed my little brain gremlins and I didn't go to the thrift store. I fought off the urge for another day. And I know you may be thinking, Grace, you did a no-buyer for a whole year. Why don't you have the willpower to not go to the thrift store? Because I have a problem. That's why I did the no-buyer. Literally, that's why I did it. So when I'm not allowed to buy things, I don't buy things. But when I'm allowed maybe to buy things, sometimes I just want to look around. And usually, even when I go, I don't really buy anything. But as we just saw from me going to Michael's and buying yarn for a project for Christmas, fair enough, I'm gonna be using everything that I bought. This was for the shirts for the concert. I bought yarn for Addie's Christmas present, and I may have bought a $3 candle, but I haven't bought a candle in over a year, and we don't have any. It's a soy candle at least, so I don't know. Does that make it better? Not really. I just want to be honest with you guys, okay? I'm not a perfect person. I never said I was. I just want to be accountable. I spent a few extra dollars than I should have. I bought the yarn for a project that I'm not even going to start for many months. But guess what? The yarn was screaming at me. And I didn't buy extra yarn either. So I just bought one that I knew that I was definitely going to use for a project. So it could have been a lot worse. Could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. You know, we all make slip-ups. Things happen. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm gonna throw this to tomorrow, Grace, when all of these things are done, and show you the final product of everything that we did. It turned out so cute. It's definitely a bit more pink than I actually expected it to be, because as I showed you before, the jumpsuit is quite a bit lighter, but maybe that's just because this is quite a bit larger. I don't know, dude. I think it turned out really fun. It's like so pinky. I have like pink nails. We got the pink socks. Anyways, the shirt is also done. I tried it on, and obviously the writing is like very high up, so it kind of sits like on top of my boobs. So I don't know if I love the way that it looks on me. I like tried it on so that I'd know where to crop it. I'll have to try it on again after the crop just to see how I like it and how it looks. Otherwise, I'll just give it to my younger sibling. I'm sure they'd love to have a shirt like this. Anyway, they have a shirt. I don't even know where the hell they got it, but it says, I got my top surgery at Claire's, and it has a photo of Gibby from iCarly on it. So that's pretty iconic. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with the cutesy little crafts that we got up to this time. I really hope that this slight shift in content has been fun. Again, I'm just out here trying to live an intentional life and like do the best I can. If there's anything else you'd like to see from me content-wise, feel free to always like let me know in the comments. Anyways, let me just end the video here. I will see you in the next one. Till then, I'm sending you all my love because we're all just trying our best out here. So, see you later. Bye!